DeAndre Hopkins. Trade hasn't happened yet. There's been some suitors possibly with the Buffalo Bills have been rumored. The New England Patriots had been rumored for some time. But for right now, he's still in Arizona unless we get some updates. But right now, the problem is I don't see DeAndre Hopkins fitting in the target shares that I have projected. And so I've started to do projections. I haven't finished them yet, but I've started with Arizona, and you have James Conner, whose median target share last year was 11%. You have Marquise Brown's, whose median was 24. Rondell's was 19. And Zach Ertz, Trey McBride will get you combined probably 20%. So you're talking like, where are you going to be able to fit DeAndre Hopkins in if you still have ancillary pieces like Zach Pascal and Greg Dortch and a couple other sprinklings of targets elsewhere? It seems like DeAndre Hopkins is already the odd man out. So where would he be valuable? Does he have a lot of juice left? He averaged a 29% target share last year, so it's not like he's not commanding targets, but is his body able to hold up for the rest of his career?
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually cautiously bullish on DeAndre Hopkins. I think if he goes anywhere, he's going to go somewhere he can be useful. I think he showed last year after coming off that suspension that he still commands targets, and he did so immediately. So things were good. That offense wasn't the greatest, so there wasn't a lot of touchdown scoring going on, but on a better team that scores more touchdowns, that could be really something because he's got the body for it, and he can win those contested catches, and he's also a PPR machine. So if he stays on Carolina, I think he's still probably going to command a 25% target share. And I think where it's going to come from is Rondale Moore's going to get hurt, and Zach Ertz probably isn't going to be. He may be coming back slow, if at all. So there's potentially stuff right there, and the rest of it is just going to come from players that aren't able to earn targets as well as DeAndre Hopkins is. I think they're good. If Kyler's out for a few weeks and you've got McCoy or David Blue or who they get, Jeff Driscoll.
Jeff Driscoll. Jeff the Drisk. Uncle Jeff is his nickname, evidently.
Uncle Jeff. Okay, yeah. He's going to be a target magnet for those guys. It's kind of how I feel about it. But yeah, I'm hoping he goes elsewhere because I've got a ton of Hollywood Brown bags in both best ball and dynasties. And I've got actually a fair number of, even though I was disparaging Rondale Moore, I've got a fair number of Rondale Moore bags because when he's in there and he's playing, he's been doing good. So I think that might be likely to continue.
So I just traded for DeAndre Hopkins in a dynasty league.
All right. What'd you give up?
I traded Rachaad White straight up for DeAndre Hopkins.
I like that, Bradley. I kind of like that. Because we're gonna talk Rachaad White, right? We got to now.
I'll put a bow on Hopkins in a second, but
okay.
Yes, we will talk about Rachaad White here momentarily.
But anyway, so I think Hopkins, if you're a win now team, that's a great player to acquire and give up somebody whose value might crater.
So the team that I traded, it's a 16-team, one quarterback league, and I have Hurts, Kenneth Walker, CMC, Waddle, Tyreek Hill. I just traded for Stephon Diggs as well. So I've got Hopkins and Diggs. I've got Trey McBride as my tight end. Unfortunately, I need to plug that hole with something. And then I've got one other flex spot that I'll just fill in. But that's a win now team, and I felt like Rachaad White was not fitting the brand of that team, and his value, as you mentioned, can crater very quickly. And we'll jump into Rachaad White, but before we do, DeAndre Hopkins last year was wide receiver 10 in my best ball value rating, only behind AJ Brown, CeeDee Lamb, Stephon Diggs, etc. Yet Hopkins still has some juice left.